Good evening, folks. Welcome for our midweek matchup live on High Button Sports. We'll take a quick sec here and send it over to Logan for the pregame report.
Hello and welcome to the midweek matchup live with High Button Sports. I'm Logan Carruthers. Let me take you through a couple key players and some keys to the game. The Woodlawn Panthers come into the game currently sitting fourth place. They have a 5-win record. They got 5 wins, 1 loss, and an OT win as well. The Cheetahs currently sitting in 6th place, 3 wins, 2 losses, 2 overtime losses, and 1 shootout loss as well. Couple key players for the Cheetahs to look at are the 2 Owens, Owen Pitcher and Owen O'Leary. Coming into the game, Pitcher's got 9 goals, 5 assists for 14 points, and O'Leary's got 3 goals, 7 assists for 10 points. Also, you got to look at Ethan Saunier. 1 goal, but he's got 7 assists on the year. Got to keep an eye on him to be dishing that puck out as well. Now we flip over to the other side of the penalty box. You got to look out for the big 3, Gregor Beach, Max Halliday, and Max Clements. They come into the game. Beach has 7 goals, 3 assists. Halliday, 4 goals, 5 assists, and Matt Clement, 4 goals, 4 assists for 8 points. Also, coming off the hot hand of last week's hat trick, Vander Tobin looks to keep things rolling. He's up to 8 points on the season with 6 goals and 2 assists. Thank you for tuning in to Live on High Button Sports. I'm Logan Carruthers. Stay tuned for the game.
Good evening, folks, and welcome inside the RBC Center here in Burnside, Nova Scotia. I'm Logan Carruthers, Mason DeNike on the camera. Thanks for tuning into this midweek matchup between the Woodlawn Panthers and the CPA Allen Cheetahs. Moments away from puck drop, live on High Button Sports, 5:30, the local time. Facing off here at center, number 55, Vander Tobin. He'll face off against number 11, Ben O'Coin, and we are underway. Puck worked up, chipped back into the feed area of Tobin as they look to dig it in, and they'll dump it in down in behind the net. That's Liam Power getting the call up for the Panthers here this evening. Here's a chance, Matt Clement's shot there. Matt got talked about in the pregame show. He comes into this game. He's got 8 points on the year, split between 4 goals and 4 assists. He wears the C for the Panthers here at home and on the road this season as he picks it up on the far side, and he'll cycle it back down low for Vander Tobin. Down in to help out. Now in low is picked up, collected, and worked back by Power to the point. Shot. That's high over top of the goal of the starting goaltender, number 1, Holden Cogan. He'll get the nod here in this midweek matchup for the Cheetahs as they ice the puck. It'll be the first stoppage of play of the game as 200 feet down from Cogan is number 31, Parker Cool. He'll get the start here. Once again, this midweek matchup is 3rd, I believe, midweek game in a row. The Cheetahs coming off a tough loss last weekend against the Citadel Phoenix. That shootout loss, 3-2. Got to be careful though. They have a couple dangerous players on that side of the ice. Especially dangerous coming into this game with 14 points on the season. Owen Pitcher leads the team. And the way for them, we got to catch up with him pregame and had a quick little chat with him. Very nice young man. As that'll be picked up and collected by Vaders and turned over. Brownring stops up, looking backdoor. Here's a chance, toe drag. Oh, what a move, but lost into the, and another big save as it got lost. Trying to slide it back door, and what a save Thought he was down and out. Holden Kogan with a miraculous save as it's worked back through the neutral zone. Down low. Shot there wide. Pitcher. As I was mentioning, is all that unfolded. Pitcher with 14 points on the year. He's got 9 goals. As we are getting a quick look here at the replay, what a toe drag by Max Halliday. Mentioned him pregame as well. He comes into this game with 4 goals, 5 assists for 9 points. Matt Clement, Gregor Beach, and Max Halliday have combined this year for 27 points between the 3 of them so far. And we're not even to Christmas yet as it gets sent out and picked up. Here in his own zone, he'll wheel the back and into the neutral zone. Conrad Eisner takes a bump offside as he was worked in as that puck up into the mesh on a chip out of the zone attempt by Ryan Grunny. Puck goes straight up on a play, face off. Gonna go into the Cheetahs zone. Like to thank today's game sponsors, MMG, Law, Colonial Honda, and Steel Hyundai. Thank you very much as well to our white sponsor, Cooperate, as it's worked back through the neutral zone. Nice read on the face-off. Here's a chance. McDonald shot high over top of the goal of Cool and over to the far side. Trying to work it back down. Turple works to the point. Now it's sent in, but worked right back out into the neutral zone. Dumped in as he takes a bump as Power, as that gets sent in, collected by Varders, turned over, glance shot, wide high, past the glove hand side of goaltender Holden Kogan. Hit there in the corner, good forecheck by Maddock Tobin. Glant picks it off, picked up though, and worked back. Here's Rowe, touches blue, and he'll dump it in and give chase. Eisner in behind, works it up the wall. Nice move by Beckett. Power finds the man, that's Halliday, over the blue line. Back to the point, trying to find the guy off the bench. Stepping in was Hudson Kenny. That'll be rimmed around. London Opong sends it back down in deep. Hudson Kenny trying to work it back to the point, but it'll be picked off and worked out into the neutral zone. Vervabakas worked it out. Turned back over, shot there from distance, sent wide by Cole Nelson. Over to the far side, Grunry keeps it down low. Opong, D-to-D, goes under the stick of Ferguson. Regrouped, Kenny works it through the neutral zone now. Up over the red line, now over the blue line, shot through the feet, takes a bump as it goes wide. Opong down there in the corner, trying to get it down low, but it'll be helped out there by Matt Gorman. Gorman gonna move his feet in behind his net, centering pass right onto the tape of Jake Matheson as he tried to dump off of Opong and worked right back up. Back through the neutral zone, sent in by Isaac Mahoney. He'll peel off for a change. Halliday given a check, another check there by Tobin as it's worked back. Opong still out there as he works over the blue line. Opong to the middle, backhand shot glove save by Kogan. As Tobin works it down low. Tries to cut out of the corner. Good job on the defense there was Ben O'Coin. Opong stepping in, getting it back down in low. Tobin's going to have to go off. No net guard. He'll have to change. Work past Opong. Delayed icing called off as Opong will have to go all the way 200 back into his own zone as he's pressured and turns it over. Only momentarily, though, as here's a chance out front as Brooks was in there to help out. Far side, Halliday off the glass and into the neutral zone. Clements over the blue line. Drives the shoulder, gets it knocked off his stick. Ends up finding the stick, though, of Dane Morrissey down low. Morrissey trying to work it out front. Centering pass goes all the way past Brooks and into the neutral zone. All the way back into his zone now is Camden Brooks. Will have to retreat up the close side wall for Law. Goes through his feet, picked up, chipped back as Law kept it moving. Takes a hit at the blue line and sidesteps that as he was stepped up on there by Cole Nelson. Nelson on the half wall, chipped off the feet into the neutral zone. O'Leary dishes it off. Here's a chance. Power shot there. Blocked, though, is a good chance for Ethan Saunier. Saunier normally doing the dishing, but he got a nice feed from pitcher. Clements over the blue line. Turned over though, back to the point. Big hit there by Halliday, showing his physicality early goings of the game. Picked up neutral zone. Nice play by pitcher, kicked it wide. Siding through as O'Leary doesn't connect. Cool off the corner shot. And a big hit there by Law will draw a little attention. And that'll do it for that. Quick play out of the corner. Cool stopped it down and held on to for a whistle. Thanks for tuning in live on High Button Sports. And this midweek matchup is tied at 0 here, about 6 minutes into the first period. Shots also tied up at 3. Offensive zone draw. Gorman trying to win it back. Picked off though and chipped out. Kicked up ahead by Ryan Gunry. Far side. Kenny gets it poked past him. Worked back. Law now on the short side. Works it up. Touched, but not enough to get past Ryan Gunry. Puck picked up. Chipped back into the neutral zone over a couple sticks. Brownrigg trying to poke it in. Knocked past him back the other way. Trying to work it is Gorman. Brownrigg will pick it up though on the turnover. Brownrigg over the blue line. Shot there. Can't get enough on it. Picked up down low. Brownrigg. Nice move out of the corner. Tries to work it to the front. Is it cleared away? Back into the neutral zone. As that took a weird bounce on Conrad Eisner. Delaying, waiting for some time now was Wren as he'll forecheck down the far side. Vaders turns it back up, but it'll be turned over by Maddock Tobin. Puck worked back out into the neutral zone though by the Cheetahs as it's worked back over the blue line. White shot there up high past the blocker hand side. Puck chipped up. Here's Wren. He'll dump it in right before the blue line and head off for a change, as that'll be Tobin in there pressuring. Arid pass goes down 200 feet all the way for an icing call. No change for the Cheetahs. And an offensive zone draw coming up here for the Woodlawn Panthers. Panthers coming into the game with a 5-1-1 record. They currently sit 4th in the pool, as the CPA Allen Cheetahs come into this game in 6th place. They have a 3-2-2-1 record. Shot on, steered away. Rebound shot, sent wide. As picking up the rebound was Beckett Power. Tobin in there on the forecheck. He'll try to work it back down low. Power in there to help him out. Trying to chip it up the wall is Carson McDonald. Up to the point, shot blocked off the inside of the foot. Worked back. Here's Remy Glant down low. Past Tobin, far side. Trying to work it past Power. Can't do so. First attempt. Now he gets it over, but Power picks it up down low on a read from in behind the goal line. Trying to work it up to the point, as the point man seemed to be open, but on the reverse, it's Aaron Rowe. Back up to the half wall with some speed through the neutral zone. Gets to center and tries to dump it in. Was Nate Turple and Cameron White. White still forechecking. Still have to head off for a change near the end of his shift. Dumped in by Cole Nelson right on net. Cool holds on for a whistle. 5:51 remaining in the first period. Face off blocker side of Cool. Work back Opong. Far side. Past Brooks though. Clements works it ahead for him. Can't connect though, as it was in behind Brooks. Down low. Trying to work it out is Ben O'Coin. Picked off by Mac Clements as it's turned back into the neutral zone and turned over. Nice little regroup there. Cole Nelson under the stick, and Brooks will pick up that air pass under the stick as Camden Brooks works it up the wall. Taking his time, centering pass. Liam Power works it over. Matt Clement cuts the middle and runs through. That attempt check there from Ryan Gurney. Matt Clement, get out of my way. Wearing the C as heads up, get off the tracks when the Mack truck is coming through. As it's worked back, Vander Tobin cutting to the middle, turns it over right onto the stick of the dangerous captain. Owen O'Leary works it far side. Drop pass shot there, sent wide. Saunier let that shot go. turned over just inside the blue line. Pitcher shot, blocker side, wide. Tobin clearing attempt, held in. Bernier overskates the puck. Puck now worked down into the neutral zone. Back at Power, dumps it in. Is no icing there as he takes a bump. He'll stay on. Puck stretch pass for a pitcher and an icing call as he couldn't get a stick on it. Face off all the way back down to the Cheetah zone on another aired pass. Face off, glove hand side. My apologies to number 3. That is now Hunter Gauthier. Wrong name on the roster for me as it's turned over, worked up. Here's a chance, shot there, blocked. Great job to take away that opportunity was Maddox Seabold as he picks a puck up behind his own net now. Turned over in front, pitcher shot. Nice save by Cool. Pitcher on the turnover once again. Works it back to the point, shot off the skates of pitcher and worked to the half wall. Cycled down low by Ethan Saunier. Saunier out of the corner, works it down low and behind the net. Now cycles down low, trying to find Owen O'Leary. O'Leary, pitcher, and Saunier, the 3 leading point getters for the CPA and Cheetahs this year so far. Big hit there, but taking the worst of it was Brownrigg is getting stood up by defenseman Cole Nelson. Pitcher down low, centering pass in behind of the intended target, Owen O'Leary, is worked up. Here's Law over the blue line. Law trying to go around his man. Good job to get in his way was Evan Vauders as it's worked back here. Saunier through the neutral zone. Saunier touches center, hard rim. Cool out to play it, can't do so. Held in the far side. Good job to wait till the man was on the bench was Jacob Brownrigg. He's out there now for the Panthers. Work back. Here's a shot sent wide off the stick of Carson McDonald. Picked up on the far side by Brownrigg. He works it over the blue line. Brownrigg trying to go through the feet there of William Bernier. Can't do so. Halliday trying to chip it down low. Right off the bench. Max Halliday getting right into the action. Got to get his feet moving back now. As Conrad Eisner's pressured. Right on net though is Cool. Has to hold on. Wasn't expecting that. Faced a shot there from his own teammate in Conrad Eisner. Face off going to go to the blocker, or sorry, looks like going to be the glove side of goaltender Parker Cool. 2:34 remaining in the opening frame. Shots 5-4 in favor of the CP Allen Cheetahs as it's worked back to the point. Bernier down low, trying to center, goes off a stick and picked up in the short side by Turple. Turple back to the point, cycled down low by Ryan Gurney. Turned over though, trying to work it out is Halliday. In behind, Eisner up for Brownrigg, far side, centering pass, picked up with speed. Wren over the blue line. Red trying to cut to the middle through the feet, can't get it around the second defenseman as he was 1-on-2. Here's a turnover, Brownrigg slides it back door, Wren shot, scores! Wren pulls it forehand, backhand, and beats the blocker side of Holden Cogan, and Evan Wren has opened the scoring here in this midweek matchup on the 5th shot of the game. Just under 2 minutes remaining in the opening period. Nice play there as it was worked in by Wren. Originally, Brownrigg read the turnover, picked it up and slid it back door, grabbing it forehand, sliding it backhand past the blocker side under the 6-hole, I guess you could say, through the armpit area. And the Panthers with a 1-0 lead here in the first period, late stages of the first period. As the Panthers under a little bit of pressure now as the Cheetahs look to get on the board here and tie it up before the end of the first period. Nice move by London Opong, worked up the wall, centered, far side, off the hand. Worked up, good job to touch it, as here's a chance, 2-on-1, shot, scores! Beckett Power with an absolute snipe upstairs on a 2-on-1 chance, look back door, and shot it up on the short side. Blocker side on Hogan. Kogan, and a 2-0 lead now for the Panthers at home. As he looked back door and shot it, sliding towards the backdoor pass was Holden Kogan, and sniping it up over the shoulder, number 86, Beckett Power. And a 2-0 lead now for the Panthers. As the Cheetahs look to respond, here's Brooks, though, back the other way. Turned over, held offside, says the official. Tobin takes a bump at the whistle as Vander Tobin thought he held the line. Maddock Tobin going to pick up the assist on the goal by Beckett Power. So good job and congratulations to those two as they now have a 2-0 lead over the Cheetahs here at home. Brooks, D-to-D Opong, former Halifax McDonald in the U18 Nova Scotia High Button League. As it's sent in, Tobin on the forecheck, finishing his check, shot in. As taking the worst of the check in the corner was number 6, Ryan Gurney. Been in a couple physical battles here so far. Brooks, far side, cuts back. Half a minute remaining here in the opening period. 2-0 lead for the Panthers. Opong, sauce pass right on the tape of the captain Clements. Over the line, Clements cuts to the middle, cuts back, shot, off the pad, what a save there. Centering pass goes through everyone, back to the point. Opong, 10 seconds left, centers off the skate. In behind, Clements straight to Tobin, shot, blocker save, rebound, cleared back. Opong trying to hold the line, can't do so, goes off of his stick and into the neutral zone. And that'll do it here for the opening period. After one period of play, the Panthers 2, Cheetahs no score. Will be back here for second period of action live on High Button Sports after this short intermission. Welcome back here for our second period of action. Live on High Button Sports, Logan Carruthers on the mic, Mason tonight on the camera as the Panthers coming into the period with a 2-0 lead here at home. Puck perked up and sent back in on a far side dump by Isaac Mahoney as the Panthers look to add on to their league as the top line for the Cheetahs works it up over the blue line. Shot, pass, back door, too far of the reach, couldn't get a stick all over it, was Owen O'Leary. O'Leary wearing the C and the leading point getter this year for the Cheetahs as he picks it up, trying to work it back for Pitcher. The two Owens out there together playing with Ethan Saunier all have over 8 points on the year as Saunier has 7 assists. Here's a chance. Backdoor Saunier can't bury it home as a nice save by Parker Cool sliding across with the pad. And he shuts down Ethan Saunier on a beautiful feed from Owen O'Leary. Worked back through the neutral zone. Ethan Smith over the line. Shot sent wide. Takes a bump as he does get that shot away, but it was just off the marker. Far side trying to hold the line. Worked out though. Good job by the captain O'Leary. Too far out of the reach, though, of Pitcher, and sent back off the bench, touching it up ahead to himself, Max Halliday. Here's Brownrigg, picks it up, works it back door, Wren shot, glove save. What a change of events there, right off the bench and right into the action. Brownrigg looking to set up Evan Wren once again. They connected on the first goal of the game. Earlier on in the first period, face-off to the glove hand side, looks like, as Max Halliday is going to stay out for the faceoff on his offside. Halliday, Brownrigg, and Wren out there. Worked up the wall, far side. McDonald trying to chip it out, can't do so as Wren sends it back down. Brownrigg centering pass into the feet and turned back by the Cheetahs. Far side working it out is McDonald. Carson McDonald touches center, dumps it, and he'll give chase. Eisner and McDonald go into the boards awkwardly. He's slow to get up, still laboring now, as hopefully he's okay as he's hunched over down the corner as it looks like a interference call coming up here to number 88, Conrad Eisner, as he'll head off to the penalty box, now to his feet in the corner. Carson McDonald, good to see him back on his feet, and he's okay. As the Cheetahs will head to the power play here as Conrad Eisner heads off. As we take a look, Ish kind of got tangled up. Maybe Conrad Eisner had a arm kind of stuck around him and took him down. They both went in the boards. Carson McDonald a little worse for wear as he heads off, cleared out by Camden Brooks on the opening power play face-off. O'Leary trying to work it up the wall, does. Saunier touches it, pitcher. Sauce pass up ahead, worked up over the blue line. Yuzakovic turns it over, and London Opong sends it down the full length. Steven Yuzakovic getting some power play time as he'll center this line. As he curls up near the blue line. Picked up, Saunier through the neutral zone. Saunier, as I mentioned, he's got 7 assists, only 1 goal on the year. Look for him to be dishing the puck here on the power play. O'Leary quarterbacks it up top. Pitcher, cross-ice pass into the feet, though. Can't control it. Pressured Halliday trying to get it out. Good job to recover it. Zitz worked around. Opong trying to clear. Gets it knocked off his stick and worked back to the point. O'Leary walks middle, down to the corner. Nice job on the reverse there. Ben O'Coin. Pitcher turns it over right on the stick of Halliday and worked down into the neutral zone. Couple sticks up in the air. They say no one touched it. Chipped back into the neutral zone. Got to be careful on an offside call there. Reaching over the line, Steven Yuzakovic. And it'll be an offside call here. 45 seconds remaining in the power play for the Cheetahs as they trail by 2. Now trailing in the shot category as well. 8-6. Face-off outside the Panthers zone as it'll be regrouped here by Cole Nelson all the way back into his own zone in front of his net. Cole Nelson's now going to get his feet moving north, up ice. Pressure at far side and sent in. Kenny had to be careful off the Zamboni door. Never know what kind of bounce they're going to get off that door. Down on the far side of the ice, you never know, as we've seen a few odd bounces come out of that corner on dump-ins, on rim-ins, on you name it, and even clearing attempts coming out of the zone as well, right? There's been times where defensemen have wheeled the back of the net, tried to rim it around hard off the glass, and it's come right out into the slot off one of those stanchions. So that seamless glass, not here in effect as you would see in some of the bigger stadiums, I guess you would say. As they saw one right there, as we mentioned and we were talking about it, it seemed to be like, oh, there, I'll give you an example on what we're talking about. So that's the second one in back-to-back shifts, so got to be careful. That tricky door down there. Zamboni drivers must have it all rigged up with a little trampoline or something to shoot that puck out on the goalies or something, maybe to keep things interesting down there. As, yeah, Parker Cool knows the bounce. He was ready for it as it's turned over. Kenny down low. Centering pass. Can't connect in front. Picked up and worked up into the neutral zone. Pitcher finds it in his feet. Works it for O'Leary. Under his stick. Far side O'Leary. Works it to the short side and turns it over. Chip play. Picked off. No call on the play there. No hand pass. Puck held at the point. Only momentarily. Smith poked ahead. Kenny with the step. Hudson Kenny's shot. Glove save by Kogan. Good job by Kogan reaching out and grabbing that one out of the air as a partial breakaway by Hudson Kenny. Had a step, but near the end of his shift, a little get tired, got caught up to just enough as they got a stick on the play, but not enough to take away his shot. delayed it a little bit, as digging in now on the face-off, wins it back was Tobin. That's Maddock Tobin. Off the end wall again, worked up the wall now. Tobin, cross ice pass for Glant, too far out of his reach. Sent back into the Panther zone. D-to-D pass, picked up, worked up into the neutral zone. Good job to get center was Matthew Ferguson. Tobin will wheel it back, trying to sauce it far side. Power and Tobin out there. Turnover back the other way. Here's a chance. Gorman shot sent wide. Matt Gorman first to the puck. He'll cycle it. Another weird bounce off the end. Zamboni door. That bounced directly back to where it came from. That's 3 or 4 now here in the game so far, almost in the same shift. Sent down, worked over the line, looking backdoor shot sent off the stick and in behind. Maddock Tobin trying to get it out front. Owen Power in there helping him out. Beckett Power in there helping him out. Power's got a goal. Glant forces the turnover. Work back. Power over the line. Beckett Power, toe drag shot through the feet of the defender as Evan Vaders picks it up. Reverse play. Sebastian Muse up the wall through the neutral zone. Sidestepping a check. Steven Yuzakovic. Got to be careful. Could have been a too many men if he touched it right off the bench. Was Ben O'Coin dumping it in. Centered turnover. Trying to get it in front. Can't do so. Sebastian Muse back into the neutral zone. He'll give chase. Got to pick up Matt Clement. Drive into the net. Down low. Backdoor pass for Clements. Couldn't connect. Tobin. That'll be Vander Tobin cycling that puck. Clement finishing his check. Down low. Trying to get it out front is Hunter Gauthier. Gauthier cuts over top. Turns it over right onto the stick of Clements though. He picks it up. No call on the play there, saying he lost his footing. Vander Tobin centers. Finds the stick of Gauthier. Back to the point. D-to-D pass. Fanned on and poked back. Here's a chance. Steven Yuzakovic. Nice defensive play there by number 88, Conrad Eisner, from his backside. Just spinning the pass right onto the stick of his defense partner. What a big hit there. Matt Clement runs over the man, trying to step on him. Get out of the way when the Mac truck's on the road. Here's a chance for the Cheetahs off the block, though, by Brooks. Here's a turnover. Shot. Blocker save. Nice job on the turnover to get a shot away. Matt Gorman been buzzing a little bit here in the second period. Worked out Brownrigg. Works it up ahead for Wren. They've seen some good connecting passes here. One actually connected for a goal in the first period. Brooks now with it. Backs inside of his own zone. Dishes it for Opong. Far side, worked up the wall. Brownrigg collects it now over the blue line. Brownrigg looking backdoor for Wren, poked away. Good defensive play there by the defenseman, William Bernier. Brownrigg out of the corner, backhand into the chest. Rebound, back to the point. Opong, shot blocked by Saunier. Rebound, shot attempt picked up though, and trying to get it out into the neutral zone as Gorman now over the blue line. Centering pass off the stick of Opong. Brooks steps up. Clears it just out to center, right on the stick, O'Leary. And O'Leary's shot blocked by Opong. Wren, clearing attempt. Just held offside, and a glove save there by Cool for good measures at an offside call. Owen O'Leary was in all alone in front. Parker Cool had to shut the door, but a delayed offside call will stop play. Decent little crowd here on hand for this midweek matchup. You see a couple of the maybe football players or other sports here post-school on a Wednesday night. Live from the RBC Center in Burnside, Nova Scotia. Law chipping it up into the neutral zone. Big hit there. Smith finishing his check on the far side. Turned over, turned back, sent back into the zone. Law holds on, goes D-to-D, looking for some options. Decided to chip it up to the far side was Siebold as it's sent in. Nelson battling with Smith. O'Leary in there, good support from the centerman as it's worked out. Owen O'Leary trying to connect with Pitcher. They connected for both the goals in the 3-2 shootout loss against the Citadel Phoenix last week. Far side, picked up, trying to work it back is Mahoney. Takes a bump, far side, no icing on the call as it gets waved off. Out to stop it up for his defenseman is Kogan. Nelson, stretch pass. Touched there by Wren, right under the stick. Pitcher working it in, backdoor pass, too far out of the reach. No call on the play as they'll play on. Saunier works it back to the point, takes a bump for his effort. Shot there, blocked, and the way to the net of Cool and sent out by Tobin. That's Matic Tobin. Far side, taking a bump was Saunier. Pitcher over the line. Shot right into the chest, held onto by Parker Cool. Gonna drive him into his own net. There was number 8, Matt Gorman. He'll take a little bump for his effort, maybe one or two little cross checks as the face-off will come outside. Defenseman into the fracas down low. Face-off's gonna come outside as both defensemen, or one, I guess, of the defensemen headed in to the zone. Face-off will be just inside of the Cheetahs bench on the far side. CNA, former Halifax McDonald on the Cheetah bench, and Luke Poirier played for the Max for a couple years back in before I was there, as he seems to be running the forward group here for the CP Allen Cheetahs. As Matic Tobin and over the line loses the handle right on net, as they'll battle a little bit down low. And the stick out of the hands on the far side of Aaron Rowe. He kind of looks at the ref like, hey man, what was that about? As him and Vander Tobin, or sorry, that was Matic Tobin, had a couple little stick whacks at each other. 5:05 remaining here in the second period. 2-0 the score. And the shots 10-9 in favor of the Panthers as they also lead on the score. Shot, here's a chance, rebound, picked up, trying to find it in front and bury it home, can't do so. Good job to clear it out of the way, and a full length. Going to have to go all the way back is Ferguson in behind his own net. Ferguson got to be careful here as we're inside 5 minutes to go in the second period. Sent in right on net, blocker save. Picked up here, short side Tobin. Cycles down low. End up on it first though is Steven Yuzevkovic, my apologies. And an icing call here will be charged to the Cheetahs, and a face-off all the way back into their zone, and looks like it's going to go to the glove hand side over to the far side of the ice. Vander Tobin out with Mac Clements and number 27 Hudson Kenny here. 4:20 remaining in the second period. Opong will wheel behind his net, work it up the wall, past the feet. No icing as it was touched up near center by Aaron Rowe. He'll have to go all the way back. Down low, Hunter Gauthier trying to work it out front. Clements in there to scoop up the loose puck. Clements will cut down low. Stand up his man once again into the corner. Matt Clements just running through the Cheetahs here this evening. He'll cycle it off on a tip in front, and that'll be held on to as the puck got deflected off the stick of William Bernier, held on for a much-needed whistle, is Holden Kogan. Face off to his glove hand side. As the Panthers will leave their seemingly top line out on the ice here for the offensive zone draw. Vander Tobin will dig in. It looks like he'll face off against Nate Turple. Puck chipped up. Gorman, far side, trying to center. Can't do so. He'll just get center and dump it in. Good pressure there by Cameron White. Worked back, far side, sending it, trying to get it to the far side. As it's a chance there, shot sent wide off the stick of White. Opong chipping it up the wall. Clements leaving it for Opong. Brooks will collect it, trying to find the man. Up ahead of him, can't connect. Brooks chipping it up ahead. Doesn't connect, worked back into the feet. Brooks picks it up over the blue line. Camden Brooks shot from a weird angle. Rebound, cleared back. Clements down low. Max Clements gets pressured by Nelson. Clements spinning, one-hand attempt, trying to get it out front. Good forecheck there by Hunter Gauthier as it's worked back into the neutral zone. Opong off of his stick, pressured by Gorman. Gorman almost had a chance on a 2-on-1, but he'll just take it and dump it down. Parker Cool will elect to leave it in behind the net. Brooks up the close side, off the stick of Brownrigg and back. Saunier chipping it up. 2:38 remaining here in the second period. Far side pass behind Wren. He'll collect it though and up over the blue line. Evan Wren dishing it for Brownrigg, picked off by Saunier. Good hand-eye coordination by Ethan Saunier. He's got, as I mentioned, 1 goal but 7 helpers on the year. Shot on, rebound, cleared away by Ryan Gurney. Down low, Gurney trying to finish his check on Halliday. He'll spin off and get the puck shot. Rebound right off the chest and over to the far side. Brownrigg back to the point. Law will walk the line. Shot off the stick of the forecheck of pitcher. Wren down low, poked away from him by O'Leary. O'Leary in the corner will cut back and take his time, looking over some options. Spinning it in behind his own net. Turned over though. Good job on the forecheck. Wren out front into the feet of Halliday. Rebound got shot on by Wren and held on to by Kogan for a whistle. Face off, going to go to the glove hand side of goaltender Holden Kogan. Had a pretty good game. He's seen 14 shots, only letting 2 of them beat him on a couple nice plays by the Panthers. One on an absolute beautiful snipe coming off the far side, shooting it short side, and the other off a nice backhand to forehand move coming from the side of the net, working it under the 6 hole, so just couldn't get his arm squeezed enough to keep it out. And that was the first goal. Big hit there. Finishing his check is Ethan Smith. Puck worked back in, trying to work it out. Here's a chance around Seabold. 2-on-1. Shot there. Big hit there by Alex Law as he stepped into the man as he let the shot go. Jake Matheson taking the worst of that as he'll get right back into the battle. Matheson in there with Dio Zervabakos as it's worked back into the neutral zone. Law dishing it wide over the blue line. Shot blocked. Law in and now on the forecheck. Reversing it to the far side. Dumping it back down. Alex Law in there almost as a 4th forward. As a replay of the hit there, Alex Law standing up and maybe a couple words as he stood over him. Heads up, cutting to the middle. Almost ran into the train track. Law with a nice defensive play. Trying to make a toe drag with one hand. Can't do so. Picked up Seabold. Nice little delay move. He works over the blue line. Shot off the stick of the goaltender Hogan and sent up. Trying to clear it off the half wall is Ben O'Coin. Battles on that wall. Up into the mesh and up and a play. And it'll stop for a whistle. As I mentioned, good little crowd here on hand on this midweek matchup in the Nova Scotia High School Hockey League. Thanks for tuning in. Logan Carruthers, Mason DeNike on the camera. Live on High Button Sports from the RBC Center. Glant off the draw. Toe save right off the toe. Pitcher trying to get out of the zone. Turned over at center. Remy Glant works it back for Brooks. He touches it right back to Glant. Wasn't expecting it. Far side, Glant works it skate to stick. Dumps it in. Gonna go down in on the pressure. Power. Beckett Power. He's got 1 in the game already. Off of his stick. Couple stick deflections up in the air. Now here's a 3-on-2. Back the other way. Shot there from distance. Sticked away, and that'll do it for the second period of action. So after 2 periods of play, the Woodlawn Panthers still lead 2-0. We'll be back here for 3rd period of action after this short intermission. welcome back here to High Button Sports. This midweek matchup inside the RBC Center. Mason DeNike on the camera, Logan Carruthers on the commentary. We'd like to thank our royal sponsors, Colonial Honda, MMG, Trial Lawyers, and Steel Hyundai. Also want to extend an extended thank you to our white sponsors, Cooperation. Third period underway. Out of his net to stop that puck behind his net is Holden Cogan. Turned over, Vander Tobin in there. Picked up, trying to work it out of the corner. I guess off the half wall was Matt Clements. Sent back in though as it was worked into the neutral zone. Opong down in behind the net. Bernier stops up, works it right back up the same side. Opong will step up though and work it down low. Opong, stutter steps, cut back. Cycle play off the skate, picked up Tobin. Down low, trying to work it out was Goche as it goes off the stick. Tobin once again spinning off a check, down low. Goche centering pass, Clement scores! Matt Clement with an absolute snipe glove side and a 3-0 lead for the Panthers under a minute into the third period. And Matt Clement snipes that one home. What a first shift from Vander Tobin, Hunter Goche, and Matt Clements. Wow, what an opening shift in the third period. And what a great pass sent out from in behind of the net by number 23, Hunter Goche. As the Panthers now lead 3-0. Here at home, centering pass almost picked off as they look to stay in fourth place. As face-off was one back, its puck has gone back down to both ends now as it's trying to work it out of the corner. Holiday down low out there with Brownrigg. Holiday goes flying into Brownrigg as it'll be picked up. Halliday giving Nelson a couple whacks for good measure. Picked up, poked off the stick though in the neutral zone as Nate Turple tried to work it up in. Ryan Grunny tried to work it through the feet and it's turned back over. Siebold will delay up in behind Halliday and now into the bench. Stepping up and trying to send it back down was Jake Matheson, but goes into the Woodlawn bench. Face-off going to go outside of the Woodlawn zone. Digging in for the draw, number 86, Beckett Power on trying to win it back on his backhand. Chipped up. That'll be Maddock Tobin as Remy Glant dumps it in on the close side. Bouncing puck knocked down in behind the net by Cogan as it gets reversed back up the short side and chipped back into the neutral zone. O'Leary will send it in deep. O'Leary out there with number 22, Dio Zervo Biakos, as he'll center him and Jake Matheson. As a late change here now as the Cheetahs will change up utilities. All five change up for the Cheetahs. The same five gonna stick it out here for the Panthers. 17:26 remaining in the third period. Right off the draw, trying to push it forward, knocked away though. Back to the point, Tobin trying to chip it out and he does. Into the neutral zone, Nelson will have to go back and collect it. He'll work it back now in behind his net. Reverse to the far side. That'll find his D partner, Ryan Gurney. Centering pass in behind, doesn't connect with anyone, and a full length icing there off the stick of Gurney. And face-off, blocker side of Cogan. The Panthers sitting fourth place so far here. About a month away from the Christmas break. Face off, far side, Smith will dig in on the offensive zone draw. Push it forward, Smith shot. That goes up off the shoulder. Rebound cleared back to Brooks. Shot, looking for a stick off the skate though and picked up through the neutral zone over center. Yuzakovic dumps it in and takes a bump for his effort. Camden Brooks in the corner now, trying to work it up the wall. He'll kick it over here. Going down to pick up that puck is Isaac Mahoney, chipped up ahead. Opong picks it up, toe drag to the middle, leaves it out wide. Smith drags a toe and stays on side. Smith takes a big hit there, and Nelson finished it off. In front, trying to get it was Hudson. Nelson from the side, works it back up. Opong leaves it there. Kenny shot, rebound, picked up. Opong shot, rebound, another chance for Smith. And Nelson and Smith mixing it up a little bit here, as Nelson was the one that connected on the big hit with Smith just over top of the ringette circle. Smith cut to the middle and took a big hit. Nelson, hands might have get up into the face a little bit there. A little bit high, just rode up though. Original point of contact probably was the chest, but just rode up on the follow through. But 3 or 4 chances there on shots, shutting the door each time. Holden Cogan trying to keep his team in it. Here in the third period, they trail by 3. Down low, trying to work it out. Nice move, cycle play there. Gauthier, he'll work back to the front of the net. Matt Clement down low. Matt Clement toe dragging, cutting back, centering pass onto the stick of Gauthier and poked away. Good back check by Gauthier. Saunier moved up the wall, picked up by Pitcher. Turned over though, as Tobin now trying to work it back in. Gauthier has to wait up. Tobin touches up and stopped up by Cogan behind his own net. Vaders, nice move off the in behind his net. Pitcher centering pass turned over. Matt Clement shot, blocker save. That might have went off the edge of the stick of the goaltender Cogan. Down low, Tobin centering pass. Gauthier can't get it. Barked back. Brooks down low, poked away, worked up. Saunier, headman pass. Pitcher, Owen Pitcher trying to work it around Opong, can't do so. London Opong down low with speed. Now he'll pick it up and wheel it. Look at the speed on display here with London Opong. Cuts to the middle. Opong through the feet of Nelson. Down the far side. Gets one hand on it. Not enough as it's turned back. London Opong will have to retreat all the way back. That could have been a too many men as they have sticks still on the ice. Picked up right off the bench and sent in by Cameron White. He'll give chase. Opong at the end of his shift's going to have to get back. He'll try to work it out of the zone and probably head off for a change as him and Brooks been out there for a little bit on an extended shift. Shot blockered away by Cool. Stepping in, Nelson. Shot. And that goes home. On a shot off the end wall, or off the side wall. Didn't really see it. Caught Parker Cool off guard, and it goes 5-hole, I think. And a 3-1 lead now for the Panthers is a Nelson shot from outside of the hash marks out by the ringette line. Found its way to the back of the net, and we have ourselves a 2-goal game. As, yeah, he just let it go from the outside, and the shot surprised Parker Cool 5-hole. And number 3, Cole Nelson, has the opening goal for the Cheetahs. Right on to Cool. He'll hold on to that puck. He was expecting it. Gorman pressured. Law giving him a little bit of business in front. Face off. Blocker side. Wait. No assist going on the Cheetah goal as it's sent on net. Cool steered away. Siebold in behind. Far side, Brownrigg picks it up. Centering pass onto Wren. Wren and Brownrigg been very connected here. Wren trying to cut through the D. It works right on net and held on to by Cogan as Wren tried to split through the defenseman there. And a face-off. Going to go to the glove hand side of Holden Cogan. He's seen 20 shots here. Parker Cool, only 12 so far as we're 5 minutes, 40 seconds into this third period. Only 12 shots. Now here's a chance. Brownrigg outweights the man in front. What a move. Jacob Brownrigg tucks it backhand as he outweighted Holden Cogan. Cogan bit on the little head shake and slid to his blocker side. Brownrigg delayed, worked it to his backhand and slid it calmly past the pad of goaltender Holden Cogan. And Brownrigg, he's got his second point of the night. That'll be his goal, his first goal, his second point. And what a move right off the draw. Pushed it ahead. Halliday picked it up. Halliday pushed it ahead. Brownrigg picked it up and outweighing the goalie, sliding it backhand is Jacob Brownrigg, and they only lead the 3-goal lead back intact here. 4-1 now for the Panthers in the third period. Hand pass wanted to be called by one of the benches. No, says the official. Ferguson centers, picked up in the neutral zone. Power ended up waiting and picked up there by Zervob Biakaz. My apologies if I am messing that name up. As that puck worked back. Here's Remy Gallant in the neutral zone. Waits into the feet of Tobin and over to the far side. Cycled back up the wall. Blind pass picked off. Going to have to wait. Now it's picked up. Eisner over the blue line. Down low. Conrad Eisner. Backhand attempt in front. Right onto the stick. Rebound. Can't get it fast. Kogan. Puck sent back down low. In behind. Beckett Power in there battling with Conrad Eisner. Eisner finishing his check. Worked back to the point. Shot there from Ferguson. Remy Gallant was calling it here. Wanted on the short side. Far side pass. Under the stick. Zip took a bounce. Ferguson. Into the feet. Remy Gallant centering right onto the stick of Power. Power will send it in. As stepping up on him was the goal scorer Cole Nelson. And that'll be sent in. A full line change for the Panthers. The Cheetahs looking to get some speed up ice. O'Leary through the neutral zone. Bobbing and weaving his way through over the blue line. Shot off the shin pad of Brooks. Cycled back down low. O'Leary. Backhand attempt in front. Can't connect, and it's picked up here by Hudson Kenny through the neutral zone. Back pass there. Looking backdoor Kenny. Good stick, though, in front by Aaron Rowe to just enough as Hudson Kenny was looking to set up the man back door. Shot sent wide. Far side O'Leary trying to get it back to Saunier. Can't do so. Point shot. Deflected. Pitcher in front. Can't connect with O'Leary. Puck back to the point. Cycled back down low. Gurney in front. Can't connect there with a nice try out of the corner was O'Leary. Down low. Off the skate and back into the neutral zone on a shot that never left the ice and chipping it up into the mesh and out of play was Ryan Gurney. And a face-off going to go to the right of us here up at center ice. Top line back out now for the Panthers is Gauthier trying to get it in deep. Nelson goes D to D. Centering pass. That connects there with Steven Yuzakovic. Here's a chance back door. Knocked away. Rebound. Picked up. Law finishing his check on the back check. And a delayed call now coming from center ice. And a charging call coming up to Alex Law. From the official all the way up at center ice making the call. A charging call will be assessed to Alex Law. So with 11:27 trailing by 3, the power play for the Cheetahs look to get them back within 2 here halfway through the period. 2-minute power play for Alex Law charging the call. One back Saunier. He's got 7 assists on the year. 1 goal, 7 assists, 8 points. Works it for the 10-point getter in Owen O'Leary. Here's the 14-point getter, Owen Pitcher. Down low, Pitcher will work it back to O'Leary. Got to try to settle that puck down. O'Leary cornerbacking the power play. Up top, O'Leary, normally a centerman. He'll walk it in, work it back. Pitcher looking backdoor, ends up shooting it short side. Clearing attempt, knocked down. Pitcher centered. O'Leary walks across. Reversing on his backhand, finds Pitcher, trying to get it down low. Pitcher's pressured by Tobin. Tobin clears it out all the way, and Pitcher is going to have to retreat all the way back to his neutral zone. He'll end up swinging. 2-man swing here as O'Leary picks it up. And now through the neutral zone, Pitcher on his forehand. Hard dump. Get to the far side. Saunier trying to keep it in. And it gets sent down by Brooks all the way. No icing on the play. A minute gone here in the power play for the Cheetahs. Nelson, reverse play. Far side, Matt Clement picks it up. Good forecheck by Matt Clements as he works it back. And they'll rag out as much time as they can. Conrad Eisner back for Matt Clements. And a clearing attempt doesn't go down. All the way is picked off. Nelson, he'll look over some options. He'll retreat behind his own net, set up the breakout. Half a minute now remaining in the power play for the Cheetahs. Cross ice pass, has to slow down to pick it up as it's worked back, trying to get something going. Nate Turple sends it in. Opong, clearing attempt, knocked down by Nelson. Nelson down the half wall. Back for Nelson. Good job on that was Turple. 10 seconds on the power play. Shot there. Pad save. Cool kicks it over to the far side, and Wren clears it into the neutral zone. Nelson's going to have to go all the way back for it. Nelson all the way back in behind his goal now. Looks over some options. They trail by 3. Good job by the power play as we're back to 5-on-5. Got to be careful. Calmly as it started to trickle towards the net, but very calmly holding on to it. In there was Holden Cogan. Cogan's faced 23 shots now in this game. Still 19 remaining. As it compared to Parker Cool, he's only faced 14. Max Halliday, offensive zone draw on his forehand. He had the assist to Brownrigg, so got to be looking off. Can't make the same mistake twice as the Cheetahs almost got caught there once again on a Halliday push through. Nice job to knock it down and work it was Owen Pitcher. Far side, Saunier. Shot, rebound, cleared, picked up. Saunier on the rebound, shot there. O'Leary into the chest and hold on. 2 by Parker Cool as Owen O'Leary with a short, in tight chance. As now the top line will stay on for the offensive zone. Draw Saunier, O'Leary, and Pitcher up front for the Cheetahs. That's the top line for their squad as Alex Law chips it up the wall. Picked up, chirped out, not out all the way though, as Saunier picked it up just inside the blue line, trying to work it back in. Ferguson will send it around to the far side. Brownrigg collect his, doesn't clear it though, and nice move there by Halliday. He takes a little bit of a cross check. Puck worked back down low. Pitcher turns it over to Halliday. Halliday works it up under the stick of Wren, and he'll forecheck now. Chipped up the wall. Not enough, though. Taking a hit there with Saunier. He'll give it back to Halliday. Chipped up ahead, Wren. He'll have a step. 1-on-2. Wren over the line. Evan Wren shot there. So he got some pressure. Good back check by Saunier. Puck sent around to the far side. Saunier picks it up. Cross ice pass. Had to be careful. Brownrigg reached out for it with his glove and almost got it. Picked up now just over the blue line. Brownrigg works it in. Drops a shoulder, takes a bump down low. Wren in there. As off the bench to join them is number 86, Beckett Power. Because he stays high just over the face-off dot. He'll get in there to help out Evan Wren now as Beckett Power picks up on the half wall. Toe drag around 1. Power, reverse play, can't get it towards the net. Clearing attempt out into the neutral zone as Opong collects it. Looks D to D, waits for his options to open up as it's worked back through the feet of Power as having to go off Sebastian Muse, and that'll be held on to there by goaltender Holden Cogan on the dump in. Beckett Power was in there pressuring as he's out now with Maddox Tobin and Remy Gallant. Looks like Power's gonna dig in. Remy Gallant in a one-timer position to his backhand. Trying to win it back, can't do so. Good face-off win there by Nate Turple. Clearing attempt, Opong holds the line momentarily. Now it's worked out. Almost a 2-on-1 back the other way. Picked up, Gallant over the blue line, shot high. Off the boards on the top of the net, and that'll stop play here as the puck goes off the glass and sat on top of the net. That'll stop play here for a whistle and a face-off to the blocker side of the goaltender Holden Cogan, as he's faced 23 shots here so far. A couple more, I think, now as that puck cleared. Brooks, and that must have touched some mesh on the far side, and another stoppage of play. Whistle down there. Face-off's going to stay inside from the looks of things. Wait to see where they drop it, though. No change, looks like, for the Panthers as they try to late change. So it'll be Bernier having to stay out there with his defense partner, Gurney. Opong almost turned it over. Good job by Brooks. Camden Brooks sent it back in the neutral zone, dumped back in. Power clearing off the wall, picked up on the turnover, worked back. Here's Nelson, shot. As that goes wide. Down low, Opong trying to get it up to Glant. Nice back check there to turn the puck over was Matt Gorman. That goes onto the stick though of Glant on the centering pass, and he'll work it back 2-on-2. Has Tobin going to the net, shot there, blocked, puck into the corner. Good job, Maddock Tobin. Trying to find Opong, he'll cycle it back down for Tobin. As that'll be collected though by Sebastian Muse in behind the net. Worked up, Muse works it through the neutral zone. Nice move there as Muse faked to the middle and went outside, drove it down in low. He'll get in on the forecheck and turn it over. Here's a chance as Yuzakovic off the, or sorry, that was Ben O'Coin right off the bench and into the action. Opong, 1-on-2. He'll delay, spinning to his backhand attempt as he centered on his backhand. Can't connect as pitcher now. Has O'Coin. Owen pitcher shot off the stick and up on a play as Brooks got his stick on it and got it deflected up into the mesh for a whistle. 5:30 remaining now on the clock here in the third period. Face-offs, looks like it's going to stay inside. Blocker side of Parker Cool. One back by the Cheetahs, looking to get a shot away. Saunier does so, but it was calmly poked away by Cool. Down low, use it. Kovic trying to backhand centering attempt, doesn't connect, and it's cleared out by Hudson Kenny. Yuzakovic up for Saunier. O'Leary's going to drive towards the net. Saunier's shot's blocked by Siebold. Looking over his options, roaming it around was Mahoney. Finds Kenny under his feet and all the way down into the Cheetahs zone. Smith gonna forecheck. Good job there by Smith as he turns the puck over. Ethan Smith out of the corner, works in behind the net, trying to work it out front, can't do so. Now back to the point, Mahoney for Law over to Siebold and back down for Kenny. Kenny trying to center. Puck off the skate, still loose. Smith in there trying to work it out. Ethan Smith now in behind the Cheetahs net, takes a whack in the hands, keeps playing. Smith. He'll cut back, trying to work it down low as he does for Mahoney. No stick there for the defenseman Aaron Rowe as he lost it earlier. O'Leary clears it up into the mesh, and that'll stop play. And a broken stick now for the maybe the forward Carson McDonald. I'll wait to see. Maybe, oh, that was Aaron Rowe. So Aaron Rowe's stick was disintegrated on the far side. It's now in two pieces, so I'm sure he'll have a quick stop at the Cleaves on the way out of the rink here tonight, Mason, or maybe get himself a new stick. Yeah, maybe get himself a new stick on the way out. We'll have to see. And a weird bounce once again. Another weird bounce. Got to watch out for that end wall. And that Zamboni door creating lots of havoc here. That's probably the fifth bounce. There's a shot there from the point. Rebound right to the slot and cleared back out into the neutral zone. Collected Conrad Eisner. Shot in, right, bouncing puck on. Pad save, though, by Kogan. Up the wall. Turned over in the middle of the ice, right on the stick. Tobin shot, looking for it in front. Vander Tobin still there. He'll mix it up a little bit. He'll hang around the net front and give a couple face washes there. On the receiving end of that is Cameron White getting his face washed. I'm sure that doesn't smell too good, getting a face full of stinky, half wet glove right in the face. And especially in the third period when he's been wearing it for 2 periods, almost 3. There's only under 4 minutes left. Yeah, exactly. So face off. One back to the point. Cycled down low. Nice move. Goche trying to make a move around 2 guys. Can't do so. There's a nice read there from Sebastian Muse. Works it up. He'll pick it up. Sebastian Muse chips it. And Vander Tobin thought one of the guys had the puck. He finished him off on the corner. It looks like Vander Tobin's going to head to the box here. 3:33 remaining. Vander Tobin thought one of the guys picked up the puck. He did not. He ended up finishing his check anyways. He'll take a penalty here. And another power play coming up for the Cheetahs. As they trail by 3:33 remaining, and a 2-minute power play coming up as Vander Tobin sits for interference. And the top line back out now for the Cheetahs. Pitcher in there to take the draw, trying to work it back to O'Leary at the point. Owen O'Leary back for Owen Pitcher. He'll cycle it down low. Nice play, Pitcher in behind the net looking for some options. Back to the point shot. Another rebound chance as Cool pads that away in behind the net. Back to the point, Saunier just holds it in on the far side. Saunier's shot blocked away by Cool. O'Leary kicking it back down for Pitcher, back for O'Leary. Down low, tipped on and sent wide. Clearing attempt by Brooks goes off the feet and out past Saunier. Couple more shot attempts there coming on the early goings of this power play for the CP Allen. Cheetahs as O'Leary dumps it in. Pitcher gets to it first. He'll try to get things set up. Opong in there. Matt Clements in there as well. So the captain killing penalties, doing it all here this evening. Opong in behind. His own net, reverse now, picked up down low. Ben O'Coin for Pitcher. For O'Leary, back down low. Good stick by Clements. O'Coin centering, shot there. Sent wide by Wren. Or sorry. Big hit there. Max Clement runs over Owen Pitcher and a cleared down the full length of the ice by London Opong. As I was mentioning, Ethan Saunier was the one that let that shot go. Bernier, cross ice pass, nice feed over the line. Turple drops the shoulder, cuts to the net, can't get it in on Cool. He picks it up though, off the post and picked up. Here's Brooks trying to get it out of his own zone, can't do so. Turned over, Gorman off the bench trying to center, takes a bump, work back to the point. Kenny turns it over. Hudson Kenny through the neutral zone, 1-on-2. Dumps it down. Sorry, that's Evan Wren. Dumps it down. He'll give chase, and that'll do it for the power play. Evan Wren, he's got a goal on the game. He opened the scoring here in the first period. Pressured by Brownrigg in behind. Clearing attempt held in by Wren. He'll dump it back down. Off some skates. Now it's picked up. Brownrigg sidesteps a hit. Just around the check there. Had to keep his head up. He was cut into the middle. Nelson down low, shot. And he runs through his man as Alex Law and Nelson maybe going to have a couple words. What a hit there by Cole Nelson and Alex Law. Both showing physicality throughout this game, that's for sure. Face off. O'Leary wins it cleanly, but not onto any one of his teammates' stick, and over to the far side. Tobin clears it up in the neutral zone, or work back now. Law ends up getting it on the turnover. Centering, sauce pass far side. Got to be careful on that cross-ice sauce pass. Here's a chance. Power shot up and high. Inside a minute now remaining here in the third period. Tobin in on the forecheck. In there with him is Beckett Power. Puck into the feet. Still trying to clear it up now. Here's Pitcher. Centering attempt doesn't connect. Pitcher again, now it does connect as it's worked back here by Sebastian Muse inside the blue line. Nice move by Vaders. Shot there, tipped, pad save, held on to for no rebound by Parker Cool. And inside half a minute now remaining here in the third period. A little bit of wooing coming out from the Woodlawn side of things. They'll improve their record to 6-1-1 on the season. They'll probably stay just slotted into fourth place. The Cheetahs will come out of this. They'll move to 3-3-2-1 as that's now cleared up over the line. Worked in here by Smith. He'll drop. Nelson gonna give him a couple cross checks. Smith just gonna keep playing on. In front, rebound sitting there, still loose. Can they get a fifth to capitalize on the rest? As here's a shot attempt. Rebound cleared, shot again. Some extracurricular. Siebold's going to give his man a shot in front. Right here is another shot. Siebold giving it to him, is taking a couple there. Was Dio Zervobekos. And that'll do it here. The Woodlawn Panthers come away with a victory 4-1 over the CP Allen Cheetahs here at home. Thanks for tuning in to this midweek matchup. I'm Logan Carruthers, Mason DeNike on the camera. Thank you and have a great night.